Hi guys, this is Jean. I'm here for a quick tutorial for the Temu Tuesday collab and challenge. If you are interested in participating, you can hop on over to Holly Hubbard's channel and she will announce on Friday what the challenge is for the upcoming Tuesday. And this week's challenge was lace. So I have gotten a few lace pieces from Temu in my orders. This one is a very fancy lace and it has a lot of elements to it, and I think it's so beautiful. I have deconstructed pieces of it for some other projects that I made before, and I have this really pretty ecru lace, which I think is just gorgeous with the pink roses. And then I have this I call it my bunny tail trim because it has these little puffy bunny tails on it. So I'm going to go ahead and use 2 tags for this particular challenge. I'm going to use a larger tag that is 3 inches wide, 5 inches tall, and I'm going to use a smaller standard tag, which is 2 1/4 inches by 4 3/4 inches. So I just thought I would mention the sizes to you just in case you would like to make these out of cardstock if you don't have the actual tag in your stash. So I have a couple images here. I was trying to think of where these images came from. They might have come from Kim Newberg, Images by Kim. She has a very large library of images, and on her coffee shop she gives some free images, and she also gives you some really great options if you become a member. It's not very expensive at all, but you get access to her exclusive images. So check those out. She knows what's popular, what people are using in junk journals and altered art, mixed media, that type of thing. She's been making collage sheets for a very long time. So hop on over there to Kim's store and see what she has, and I'm sure you can find some pieces to work with in her shop. So today what I'm going to use is, these are kind of some risque images, but I just love this young lady. So I'm going to leave the image just as it is. If you want to back this with some harder cardstock or maybe a colored piece for journaling, you can do that. Not anything that's necessary, but I think what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to go kind of I usually work in pinks, but I think I'm going to take a little direction here and go with some yellow maybe. Let's see, let's try this one right here, this pretty yellow one for the large tag. Now the paper doesn't fit the tag completely, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and glue this down and then trim it out, and then we'll use some of the offcuts to fill in the bottom edge. That you can trim it off if you want to, but I just like the to use some of the scraps so I don't waste any of the paper. And I'm going to go ahead and put this at the top first because I want that one whole sheet instead of adding a section to the bottom. And then I'm going to just lift this up and trim it out along the edges of the tag. And this paper is very light paper, so I did get it from Temu as well, and I love the paper, but it does need to be backed by something. So if you're going to be using the paper in one of your upcoming projects, just make sure that you add some kind of cardstock to it because it's very light. Also, if you all see something in this video and you would like to know where the piece, where the items are on the site, I can definitely link them for you. And let you know what's where, so you can pick up some of these if you would like. And I don't know if you noticed, but in a lot of my videos I use larger scissors, and I like a larger scissors because I feel like I have more control over them. I've tried smaller ones and they're just not for me, I guess. So here is the larger card, and I'm going to go ahead and punch the hole in it now so that will be ready. And I'll show you, sometimes these things, if you don't get them right in the hole, they're tough to punch. So there's that, and I'm going to take my brown distress ink and I'm just going to go around the edges and make this be a little more vintage looking. I just enjoy inking the edges of my projects because I think it really helps to bring some definition to it. I think a lot of us do use brown, or some use black. It's up to your personal preference. So let me go ahead and put that there. Now, what I'm going to use on this one is, I think I'm going to use a little bit of this, what I call bunny lace. And let me see how I want it. I think I want it like that. So I'm going to cut it right here. I haven't used any of this yet, so I'm curious to see what it looks like on an actual project. And I really want it to look like this, but I don't know. I don't really want to cut the bead. So let me see if I just cut this right here around the edge of the flower. If maybe on this one, we'll see how it looks. If I can get away with leaving it over the edge some. I'm not sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a tiny bit of glue right here. Well, more than a tiny bit, but this is a heavier trim, so you want to make sure that it stays put And just going to, I hope you can see this, just going to bring it down enough that you can't see the edge of the paper, and then you have this little piece hanging off the bottom. I may leave, because I'm afraid if I cut this, it's going to make all the pearls fall off. So I think I'm just going to leave it like it is. It looks like that edge got cut a little bit, so maybe I'll make the edges match. And no, I'm just going to leave it like this. That way I won't accidentally cut any of the pearls off. And we'll save this because we'll use this probably somewhere else in our project. Okay, so there's our first card, inked and the lace added. Now I'm going to go for another color that's a little bit I'm gonna go with this one just for fun. The great thing about these papers is that they don't have to match. As a matter of fact, art is the one place where you can make any colors, any style that you want. So we're gonna do this one in this larger pattern and with a little more green in it. I think that'll look cute. And let me go ahead and trim this one out. And then once I clean up my desk later, I'll just save these, some of these offcuts if they're big enough for me to use for collaging. So sometimes I feel like, you know, with collaging, we wrinkle papers and we tear and we do all this. So I just need to get myself like a large plastic bag and just start dumping in all these different things. Okay, I'm going to take this smaller card and I want to add some type of element to it that matches our little trim down at the bottom. So I think I'm going to put this, let's see, I kind of like, I'm going to put that right there because I will also be adding a few buttons. So where there's raw edges, the button can cover that up if that is a problem. So I'm going to put it right here. And now this one, this piece matches up a little bit with this piece. Okay, so for the buttons, let me see, I think I'm going to just put one right here to kind of accent this side. And as I was explaining before, I like my buttons to have thread in them. So if they're not pre-threaded, when I add them to my project, I'll thread them myself. So there we go. We have these two really pretty pieces, okay? And I'm going to set these aside and I'm going to move this paper. Now I did find one other size tag and I don't know if It's just a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger than this one, but I think I like the smaller one better. So let me go ahead and ink the edges. And the great thing about using the 3-in-1 beacon glue is not only does it have the acetate in it so that you can get you don't get bumps and wrinkles in your paper, but also it is like a fast tack, so it does adhere pretty quickly, so there's no worry for you there. Now with this image, I think now that I've thought of it, I'm going to use a piece of a vintage some vintage text, and I'm gonna glue her on there. So let me just set these aside a second, and I'm going to do this and add her to the book page, and right in the middle, so we have enough to see text on both sides. And then let me think how I am going to try to keep this symmetrical. I thought about tearing the edges, but I may do that at another time for a different one. But I'm going to try to keep this symmetrical so that I can, you know, squared up so that I can keep the same theme going with the tags. And I am going to attempt, I'm not sure how this will work because the paper is very light, but I'm going to attempt to round the corners, so we'll see. Well, it did a little bit. Let me try this. Oh, see, it wants to tear because it's so light. That's okay. We'll round it, and then we'll do some things to cover that up if it becomes too problematic. So it rounded it somewhat, but the paper is just too thin, I think, to allow for too much rounding. But I like how the top is right here, because this almost makes like a tag topper. So I'm going to cut that out just a hair more. And there, it looks like we have a little tag, the top of the tag. Okay, so for her, she needs to be dressed up a little bit. So I am going to use, I have some embroidered trim, and I'm debating on whether I want to use yellow. I think I do. I think the yellow will look really cool next to the other color. So we are going to put this one, let's see how I want this. I'll cut this again. And I want this one right here in the corner because of the boo-boo with the corner rounder. That's a great thing about art too, is if you can manage to correct your errors, just by covering it up with something. That's the greatest. So there is some yellow there. I'm going to see if I can try to ink this a little bit. Yeah, it's going to tear. This dictionary I have is pretty old. Let me see if I can ink it like this. So it's very, very thin paper. It's okay. We'll ink it like that and just make it even look more vintage. So I'm going to add a couple more flowers on here. We'll add something right here. And I'm going to add it so that it comes off the side a little bit. And I did, I think, save myself a relatively small button. I like adding buttons, in case you all didn't know. Okay, where's my scissors? I'm going to cut one little more tiny piece, and I'm going to, sometimes it's hard to determine which side is which. I hope I didn't put any upside down. No, that one's right, but I think it needs a tiny bit more glue. So guys, one of the things that I am struggling with is being able to make quality videos, not necessarily content-wise, but with my setup that I have. And I've been struggling with it for a while, and I've purchased a couple camera mounts, and I've looked online to see how to make the frame look a little bit bigger, and a couple other things that I tried, but I'm having a challenge with that. So on the last two videos that I have done, I actually put them in what's called a cinematic mode, so that they seem a little bit larger. So I'm hoping that works better, because I want to try to improve the overall quality of my videos. I mean, some people don't worry so much about what their table looks like, or what this looks like, or what that looks like, but my main concern is making sure that you guys can see everything that I make. This button may be a tiny bit big, but it's okay. I'm going to go with it. Okay, so here we have this lovely lady, and she is just strutting her stuff. So this is a kind of topper that I sometimes make, and I really think this needs a little bit more color. So what I'm going to do is apply a little bit of glue here, and then I'm going to put this piece of orange on it. And what that will do is it'll give a little bit more color, but it'll also allow for a little like tag to pull the tag out. So here is our lovely lady, and she is posing for the camera so beautifully. And she's finished. So now let me show you how we are going to put this together. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to use what did I do with my, I had been using some little pieces of burlap. So let me use this one. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and add this as the topper for the tag. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue just around the circle because we're not going to go in the circle. And I'm going to put this one on and then a little bit more glue. And I'm going to put the other one on just like this, okay? Now, you can put tag tops on any way you like. Some people staple them, some glue them, some use the hole to go through, you know, different ways that you can do it. I like this way, personally. And give me just 1 second to see. I thought maybe I had some peach ribbon and I forgot to grab it. Let me see if I have. That's not the color peach I wanted. Okay. So I'm going to see if I can find, I think I had a piece of green. So we'll just use a piece of like a sagey green. I think it'll be an okay match for this one. I just need to take it off of another little tiny tag I have right here. So I'm late getting my Temu Tuesday challenge collaboration done because I wasn't feeling too hot today. I mean, it was hot, but I wasn't feeling too hot. So I love crinkly seam binding, so we'll just let this go. So here we have our three, oops, that one didn't stick good. Here we have our three little tags, and I've used the different laces and papers from Temu. And what this is going to do is you can use this as journaling since it doesn't have anything on it. You can use this as journaling down here, or you can use the backs. So the backs are the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take this tag and I'm going to sit it down inside the lace so it looks like a pocket. Okay, so it should go down just a tiny bit more. And then our little lady, we're going to put her in here also in the pocket, and I'm going to just angle her a little bit because she's covering up some of the other parts of the tag. So here is this is a really fun project using the lace as a pocket and then adding on some buttons and some different elements for the tag toppers, and then you have a little bit of the same lace here as you have here, and then you come up with a really pretty design for your journal. You can put this in a pocket in your journal, make it as a pocket on a page. You can do all kinds of things with tags. Tags are very versatile, but if you do apply it to the back, for example, if you glue it down, you can glue it down here, and then I would glue these two pieces down if you're going to glue it onto a page. Then you can just remove these as you want, and you can journal anywhere you'd like. So there is our little Temu Tuesday collab, and I'm just going to put these in here a little bit angled because I want you guys to be able to see the different tags. So there is my entry for this week using some lace, and I hope you all enjoyed that. I do have two others to show you because I really loved this ecru lace, so I used that on, and I made two other ones, and these are done more in a pink and peach style. So we have this one, and it has a young lady image, and it's the same, so you can take out her, and actually on this one I made it a journal card on the back, and then this one comes out and it's a journal card on the back, and then you have the big one that's the base card. This one we have the base card, and we have two little cards that go together. So we have the next size tag, and then I just kind of fit this, the little girl, underneath this button to kind of hold her in, help hold her in, and then I push it down into the tag. So these elements are snippets from leftover snippets from this piece of lace, and then of course we have some vintage buttons on there. This is actually some torn muslin, so I used different torn muslin on this one for the tag topper. So here are three beautiful pieces. I really like the yellow one. I think it's cute and fun, and I'm going to probably just go ahead and put these in my coffee shop then. And I wanted to tell you, if you haven't checked out the coffee shops, check it out. If you're looking for a great way to be able to offer the items that you make for sale, or if you're looking for fabulous images, there's all kinds of great options on there. So I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I am going to sign off for now. I hope that if you come across my channel, you decide to subscribe, because I will be doing some other really interesting things. I have another pocket idea coming up. So thank you so much for spending time with me today. Y'all be safe out there. We love you, and bye for now.